Hi everyone! Have you ever seen something bizarre in the sky, on the land, or while swimming in a river? If you haven't, that's okay. We also haven't seen anything like that in real life. Some inexplicable things seem really weird at first and even at second sight, and today's video is about this kind of phenomena. We're going to show you 13 rare and mysterious natural events, and you probably won't believe they exist. Are you ready? Let's get it on. The Eye of the Sahara. In the Western Sahara, 25 miles from the town of Ouaddaïne, there's a unique geological circular structure with a 30-mile diameter. This peculiar phenomenon has a lot of names like the Eye of Africa, the Eye of the Sahara, Gelbe-Richat, and the Richat structure. But what is this really? At first sight, you might think this strange and incredible natural object owes its origin to a meteorite fallen on the Earth hundreds of years ago. But actually, it's quite different. Under the influence of external factors, the rocks forming a dome were gradually cut off, thus creating these rings. It's curious that these circles are different layers of rocks of various origins, millions of years old. And also, this mysterious natural object can change color at different times of the day. Finally, you might say something mystical, but unfortunately, no. The change in color is due only to the effect of heat changes around this strange formation. Nothing magical about it. Sailing stones. This incredible phenomenon that takes place in Death Valley, US, has been intriguing scientists for decades now. The huge stones on the bottom of the racetrack Playa Lake crawl by themselves, and nobody ever touches them, but they just keep going anyway. Can you imagine that? Nobody has ever seen how they do it, but still they keep moving like if they were alive. Sometimes they turn on their side, leaving a deep trace for several feet. Sometimes these restless stones make tricks, drawing complex lines and turning around. Blue lava. Now you can see a really amazing natural phenomenon. Blue lava flowing down the Ijen volcano on the Java island in Indonesia. Obviously, it's an extraordinary thing to see, but you should be careful if you watch it from near, because inside the volcano, there's a sulfur lake. Local people extract sulfur from it just like this, without any protection, and that is very, very dangerous. Actually, this whole place is dangerous for your health, because it gives off a lot of toxic steam emissions, so it's quite difficult to stay there for a long time without a mask. But let's already move on to the curious color of the lava. The gas is heated by high temperatures inside the volcano and produces blue electric flashes, sometimes up to 17 feet high. Some particles of the gas turn into liquid sulfur, and this is what creates this beautiful glowing blue lava. Lenticular clouds. Some mystery lovers can get really excited after seeing this thing in the sky because it looks like something extraterrestrial. If you are one of these people, sorry to disappoint you because these are just lens-shaped clouds. They form on the ridges of airwaves or between layers of air. No matter how hard the wind blows, these clouds don't move thanks to constant process of condensation of water vapor. Usually they hang in the air at a height of 1 to 10 miles. Often it means there's an atmospheric front approaching. Cocoon trees. When we first saw these trees, we thought they were from some horror movie, and to be honest, we were afraid a little. Why not? Just imagine thousands of trees that look like giant cocoons. Actually, it happened in Pakistan after a huge flood, which forced all the spiders to climb to the trees. It was the only way to survive for the poor creatures. But the cobwebs covered the trees and the plants nearly died from lack of light. However, even such a situation had its bright side. The spiders killed most of the region's malaria-transmitting mosquitoes, scaring and cheering up the locals at the same time. Rainbow eucalyptus. This is probably the work of a street artist who decided to use the tree as a canvas. But wait, I don't think that's quite right. Actually, this is a unique tropical tree with unique features in its bark. Depending on the season, age, and thickness of the tree, the trunk of this eucalyptus tree changes the color of its fibers. The young bark has a bright green color. Over time, it begins to darken, acquiring blue, violet, orange, and dark red tones. And before the bark comes off, it turns brownish brown. The younger and older areas of the tree coexist, generating a rainbow effect. So it's like a magic rainbow tree. Great Blue Hole. The Great Blue Hole is an incredible spectacle that can only be admired from the air. The This huge underwater cavern with a diameter of 1,000 feet is located in Central America, near the state of Belize. From the height, you can see that this aquatic funnel has an almost perfect circumference and a depth of 393 feet. Nature loves to create perfect figures. If not, how can we explain the perfect circumference? Also, if you look at this phenomenon from one side, you'll be enchanted with an incredible picture: a circular island surrounded by turquoise water, with coasts that don't let blue water fall into the funnel. Fantastic, isn't it? The everlasting storm. Thunder and lightning are a rare phenomenon in most parts of the planet, but in Venezuela, the situation is very different. In the Catatumbo region, most days are accompanied by thunderstorms. The strikes are falling all the time in a phenomenon known as the Catatumbo Everlasting Lightning Storm. These lightning strikes generate more than 1 million volts of energy per year. Can you imagine? It's also the phenomenon that produces the largest amount of ozone on the planet. As you know, lightning usually comes with powerful thunder, but not in this case. In the Catatumbo, thunder is not heard, and the lightning frightens everyone with its incredible and terrifying radiance. The Brinacle. What you're looking at is an inconceivable natural phenomenon. When brinicles are formed completely, they look like crystals underwater. A pretty beautiful spectacle, aren't they? These formations are generated when the sea ice releases water rich in salt, which seeps into the sea, generating incredible ice figures. Since low temperatures are needed for the formation of the brinicles, you can only find them in the cold waters of the South and North Poles. Brinicles are very dangerous and harmful to aquatic life around them. When sea stars, fish, and algae come into contact with these ice constructions, they freeze or suffer serious injuries. This is the lethal beauty of nature, my friends. Bleeding Glacier. Although the Antarctic valleys are one of the driest places on the planet, beneath the Great Ice Cap runs a vast network of rivers. Inside the canyons, the weather is dry, cold, and windy, which could lead you to think that there's no life in these places, but this is not the case. Under the Taylor Glacier live hundreds of bacteria that created this blood cascade. These colors certainly brighten up the white landscape and the rocks. You're probably wondering why this happens, aren't you? Basically, the water in the Antarctic Glacier is of this color because of the iron oxide generated by salt water. Bioluminescence. This phenomenon, without a doubt, is one of the most spectacular in the world, and we're sure you'd like to capture it with your camera. The existence of this phenomenon is explained by the amount of light that an organism can emit according to the level of oxygen in the atmosphere. Seen from the outside, it looks like the ocean waves have begun to shine, like if someone put a couple of spotlights underwater. Of course, bioluminescence is best observed at night, taking into account that whatever happens underwater looks better and more spectacular. Underwater waterfall. Look at these amazing images. Here you have the island of Mauritius, located in the Indian Ocean, one of the most beautiful islands in the world. And one of the most incredible tourist sites on this island is this underwater waterfall. It's a phenomenal show, don't you think? But for those who really thought it was an underwater waterfall, we have bad news. Actually, it's an illusion. You want to know what's really going on? In reality, the ocean platforms in this place are millions of years old, but the bottom has recently risen. So in the same place, there are areas with different depths, between 25 and hundreds of feet. This is the reason for the appearance of this wonderful and formidable natural phenomenon. By the way, it's only visible from the height, so if you're not an astronaut, you'll need to rent a helicopter to lift you over the Indian Ocean, allowing you to observe this parallel reality. Blood rains. And here's another horror story. In the summer of 2001, the residents of Kerala in India witnessed a strange red rain. The water from the sky had a bloody shade. Moreover, the colored precipitation continued until September. The bloody water usually poured from the sky for a relatively short time and not everywhere. The dirty and mysterious liquid was collected in many places in this area, and everyone wondered, where did all this blood come from? Fortunately, there was nothing to worry about. Studies have shown that such a color is caused by some fungi or pollen that got mixed in with the rain after being washed out from trees or roofs, so there's no apocalypse or mystical signs as you might think. Bonus. And now take a look at this unusual river. It may seem that an insidious forest which poured a potion there to pull off some evil business, but in fact, it's the work of ordinary people. The color of the water of this river in the Canadian park Gulfstream suddenly turned of a neon green color on December 29, 2010. The people who witnessed the unusual phenomenon were frightened.
Fuck this.
The water was colored for only an hour, after which it took its usual shade. After analyzing this strangeness, it became clear that a dyeing chemical had entered the river in some incomprehensible way, thanks to which the water became so frightening. However, this substance is not at all dangerous, and most likely neither fish nor the environment have been affected. Now tell us, did you manage to see something like this in real life? Share your stories in the comments, and of course, don't forget to give us some likes. Do you like cool and entertaining experiments? Then you have to check out this channel. There you'll find a bunch of useful life hacks and a lot of cool homemade stuff that will definitely catch your attention. Subscribe and learn new tricks to surprise your friends. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks, and we'll be right back to you as fast as we can.